higher than the NBA. So I was like, oh, what's she going to get paid? Because finally, you know, you can get a real paycheck. And then I saw it, and I was like, this can't be right, because this is what it is. In the first year, Caitlin Clark will earn $76,535.
That's considered the marketing savior for the sport.
The Indiana Fever have been left completely stunned after Caitlin Clark, the undisputed queen of college basketball, revealed a contract detail that is so astounding that even seasoned sports analysts are blinking twice. She was simply described as something that is really, really impressive, and she was listed as one of Forbes 30 under 30 for her jaw-dropping stats, averaging 27, 8 points per game in the previous season and pulling off 6 assists. In addition, her stock couldn't be higher, yet nobody anticipated her doing this. And to be honest, who can blame the Fever for Paulina Dage's bewildered state? After a heartbreaking debut season, Caitlin Clark shares her intentions for the offseason outside of basketball. Let's get to the meaty details and the true shockwaves this move has sent throughout the basketball world. Caitlin Clark just wrapped up one of the most incredible years of her career playing basketball. Caitlin Clark receives yet another accolade after being included in Forbes 30 under 30 list. The lone professional women's basketball player on this list is Clark, who is only 22 years old. Numbers don't lie, and in Caitlin Clark's case, they screamed that last season she was responsible for almost 30% of Iowa's total points. Imagine a player carrying nearly a third of a team's offense, and now that kind of talent is on the table for a professional contract, one that reportedly includes clauses never seen before. Caitlin Clark has been a mystery since she first set foot on a basketball court, but this contract move is the kind of drama the WNBA knew it needed. In the history of the WNBA, yes, you read correctly, WNBA players are allegedly side-eyeing even during the season. Envy points out that I'm not really understanding any of this and that there seems to be a pattern throughout the season that suggests some WNBA members still want the league to expand but oppose it if it does. There are also rumors that the deal includes an endorsement revenue sharing agreement, which is a first for the league. Clark, whose blank name image has already amassed over $3 million. That likeness deals appears to have worked out a means to continue receiving those endorsement payments while in college, even after entering the professional ranks. Let that sink in for a second. The Indiana Fever selected Caitlin Clark as the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. The Indianapolis Fever are reportedly gunning hard for Clark in the upcoming draft. The WNBA salary cap for the 2024 season is a modest $1.42 million per team, but somehow Clark has positioned herself so that her off-court earnings could eclipse her entire team's payroll. If you think this contract isn't about more than basketball, you're deluding yourself. She's just drafting a player, but managing what can only be described as a walking brand. Her social media influence alone, with over 1.5 million followers across platforms, makes her a marketing dream. That's more followers than the entire Fever team combined. The playbook accomplished it all and became a celebrity among sports fans, especially young females, and a magnet for attention. Of course, mine too. Given that she is likely to be selected first overall in the draft, Clark could command the rookie maximum salary of $74,500 per year, which is absurd for someone earning 7 figures from endorsements. However, insiders claim that Clark's camp has pushed for a revenue-sharing model that would allow her to receive a portion of ticket sales, jersey revenue, and even streaming royalties. If this information is accurate, it would be a game-changer for not only Clark, but also for all future WNBA players. A player whose aspirations surpass the present salary scale of the league. In actuality, from a marketing standpoint, Caitlin Clark is worth more than practically any professional basketball player in the world. The Fever's 2023 average attendance was one of the lowest in the league at about 4,000 per game. However, Clark's NCAA Final Four performance attracted over 9 million viewers, setting a record for women's basketball. Imagine the Fever Arena filled with 8,000 fans each purchasing tickets. Suddenly, the purchases of tickets, hot dogs, and jerseys bearing Clark's name not only support the club, but also enrich Clark. And let's not overlook the merchandising. A factor if she can do that at the collegiate level. Just think of what will happen when her name is associated with WNBA jerseys. Some estimates suggest that her jersey sales alone could reach $1 million in her rookie season, and if her contract does include that rumored revenue. During her run in the NCAA tournament, Iowa reported a 200% increase in apparel sales, much of it linked to Clark. The quality of the basketball may have been subpar, and you had someone as well known as Cheryl Swoops, who had our own signature shoe, who had to deal with Nike and all of this other stuff. But the bottom line is that very few people gave a damn. In addition, rival teams are reportedly scrambling to reevaluate their own draft strategies, since the Fever will be paying more for Clark's jersey than they ever did for their courtside popcorn. Clark's historic deal might lead to. The WNBA has been in dire need of this for years, and ripple effects around the league are driving other teams to reconsider their approaches to rookie signings and marketing agreements. Limited salary, little media coverage, and limited fan participation have all been problems for the league. Clark's business acumen and celebrity, even if the league office is reportedly having emergency meetings, acumen is the driving force behind the reform that fans have been calling for. How do you control a rookie who is already more powerful than the league? Clark's agreement could compel the... While some purists may object to the idea of a rookie earning veteran salaries, let's not pretend that this league doesn't desperately need the kind of buzz that Clark creates. I wonder if Caitlin would have come out at every post-game press conference and discussed the hateful remarks she was receiving if she had come out and told everyone why she has personal security everywhere. The WNBA should reevaluate its entire pay structure, as this could pave the way for other well-known players to demand more equitable compensation. There are many, so it's not just Indiana Fever or Caitlin Clark fans. It's not all one direction. Caitlin Clark is effectively becoming a powerhouse one-woman brand. She's already inked contracts with Nike, Wick, and Topps, among others, suggested that if she continues on her present path, her endorsement income might surpass $5 million yearly. To put that into perspective, the WNBA salary cap for all 12 clubs combined is slightly under $17 million. Soon, Clark's off-court income may equal the league's total compensation. After a difficult first WNBA season, which ended bitterly when the Indiana Fever were defeated by the Connecticut Sun in the first round of the playoffs, rookie Caitlin Clark is finally getting some downtime. However, the young star has made lighthearted references to her plans for the offseason, which may include temporarily switching the basketball court for the golf course, which will host the most watched WNBA games in more than 20 years. What does that indicate? That it wasn't nearly as well liked prior to Caitlin Clark's arrival. The top pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, Clark makes just over $76,000 this season with a 4-year contract worth $338,582. In contrast, Zachary Raker, the first pick in the NBA draft, signed a 4-year deal worth an incredible $57 million. Clark's rookie contract demonstrates the financial disparity between the WNBA and the NBA. This discrepancy highlights the difficulties faced by WNBA players who frequently decide to play abroad in the offseason in order to earn more money. Can you imagine if the roles were? WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has acknowledged these financial realities and emphasized the need for sustainable growth. However, if Caitlin Clark and 2 white girls made a video mocking it, what would the reaction be? Let's just say I don't want to go. What about Favre? Engelbert noted that in order to provide players with greater compensation and benefits, the league must grow in terms of both clubs and revenue sources. Recent achievements, such as heightened interest among fans, chartered flights, 3 new. A groundbreaking media rights agreement, expansion clubs indicate this is nothing new. The WNBA was on the correct route before this year. And in that regard, I do believe Caitlin is being used as a pawn. This has been occurring since Caitlin failed to bring Doobie Sens. Although Clark is still unsure of her plans to play abroad, her influence within the WNBA is undeniable for the time being. Clark's first season also coincided with a boom in the league's popularity. Her star power has been a driving factor both on and off the court as the league continues to expand. If the Fever does land her, they're not just getting a player, they're getting a full-fledged media machine. Imagine the broadcast rights, sponsorship deals, and social media. She appears content with a well-earned break, some time on the golf course, and maybe some time to think back on an incredible rookie year. Additionally, let's not forget about the media circus. ESPN, Fox Sports, and even international outlets have been following Clark's every move, making her a global phenomenon before she's even set foot in the WNBA. Involvement is not just a victory for the Fever, it's a victory for the WNBA overall. The Fever or the team that signs her must assemble a roster that can balance her star power without ultimately overshadowing her. But one thing is certain. Whether you're an avid fan or a casual observer, you can't ignore the profound effect that Caitlin Clark's contract revelation is having on the WNBA. If the Fever believed they were merely selecting a player, they had better reconsider. She is reinventing the future by simply rewriting history.